What's up, everyone? This is the video that you guys have been asking for. I've seen 3 other videos on YouTube so far that have showed you how to do it, but I think I have the easiest way, and I think a lot of you guys are going to appreciate how easy and simple it is. So it's really not that bad. Right now in my timeline, I have this drone clip from Thailand that I'm going to use. I have this time lapse that we're going to substitute, and then I also have a Milky Way picture that I stole off Google Images that we can put in there as well. A few other videos, they were pretty good in explaining how to do it, but I don't think they covered a few of the tips that you want to look for in the shots and a few things to watch out for. So for example, for this shot, what we really want is we want a lot of contrast between the sky and sort of the rest of the images. If there's a whole bunch of maybe water or beach here that would be highlighted, sometimes that can interfere with the keying that we use and pop through. The other thing you want is you want your horizon line to be as stationary as possible. If it's moving too much, then sometimes you can get some issues depending on the shot. So for this shot, I think it's going to work perfectly. And the other thing too is you want if you're using a timeline or a time lapse, you want the motion of the time lapse to be similar to what's happening in this shot. So with this shot, we're moving forward, which means the time lapse should be going over our heads just like that. And that sort of creates a more realistic image. Some people like the idea of using the galaxy and the stars. I think it's a little fake. It's just not as believable depending on the shot. If it was a nighttime shot, then I think that would be a lot better. But if it's sort of a daytime shot, sometimes it's a little bit too unrealistic. So I really like the look of the time-lapse shots. So in order to do this my way, and what I found was the best way, is we have our drone clip here. What we're going to do is we're going to duplicate it on top of each other, just like so, and drag that on top. And then so for the top clip, we're going to add a keying to it, and then the bottom clip, we will drag this over to where we want to start it. And then as part of working our way into the transition, we're going to use the Luma Fade transition that I supplied you guys with. If you guys haven't checked that video, go check it out. I have 2 free Luma Fade transitions that you can use. So for this, we'll put that on that bottom clip. We'll bring that a little bit longer, and then we're going to apply the keying effect to the top clip. So if we click on the keying, basically we're going to draw a box as big as the whole sky. So I'm going to drop this down to 50% just so we can see, and we're pretty much going to cover, just got to bring it inside the frame. Just like that. So if we click on our mask here, we're going to bring our strength down until we get all white, or as white as we can, in the foreground, and then this is all covered just like that. And fill holes, we can fill in the holes, and then edge distance, usually that's looking okay. Spill level is okay. And then what I like to do, you've seen some of my other videos, is add a little bit of eroding just to smoothen out that horizon line. So we'll see how this looks. So far that looks pretty good. This is pretty easy. I definitely like to use the sample color, drawing the rectangle over using the edges. But this should look pretty good once it gets rendered through. And there's a whole bunch of more settings if you want to play around with that, but so far this should be pretty much exactly how we want. So I'll bring this back to the front here. We're just gonna let this render through really quickly, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like. Okay, so this all rendered through, so we can finally take a look at what it looks like. This is a little bit more powerful on your computer using the keying, so hopefully you guys have a fast enough computer to get it done quickly, but let's take a look at the product. So that's pretty cool in my opinion. If you guys want to do the Milky Way, what you can do, we're going to take this clip and I'll show you what I did for the sample video. So we got to crop this because it was a little bit of a panoramic photo. So we'll crop that, and then what we want to do is we want to add a little bit of motion. If you are adding an image which is stationary, to create a little bit more of a dynamic experience from it, you can add some motion. So what I want to do is keyframe the position, the rotation, and the scale, and then go towards the end of the clip here, cut that off. And then for position, I'm going to keyframe that, and then we're going to lift it up about, say, 200. And then we're going to put some rotation on it, about -10 degrees. And then scale, we can do this to 110%. So this is just going to add a little bit of rotation, a little bit of enlargement with the scale, and then a little bit of position change as well, which makes it a lot more believable using an image in a video project. So we'll let this render out again, and then I'll show you what it looks like in here. So that might be a little fast for this clip, but that is an idea of the effect that you could do. And then if we want to combine the two, we can add my LumaFade transition again in between the time-lapse clip and the Milky Way clip here. So this is sort of cool because you could sort of cycle through a whole bunch of different backgrounds or time lapses that you have. And it's all under one clip. What I like about doing it this way is there's only 2 layers, whereas in some of the other videos that I saw, it's using 3 layers with an added mask. But I think this way is super simple and definitely gives the quickest result. It also helps speed up your computer too, because once you add that 3rd layer on top, then a lot of computers definitely have a harder time handling it. So there we go, guys. That's the tutorial that you guys have been asking for. If you guys have more ideas of videos you want to see, please comment them down below and I'll get to them as soon as possible. I'm on reading week this week at university, so I got lots of time and hopefully I'll be making lots of videos for you guys. If you liked it, please give it a like and a thumbs up or comment down below. Please subscribe if you haven't. We're so close to 5,000 subscribers, so I'm super pumped for that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.